focus. With me, I have my lovely players.
Hi, I'm Mars. Pronouns he, they. I will be playing Rokane, the ancient mess that he is.
The ancient mess?
I mean, we don't know. He could be anxious.
There you go. I'm Cody, pronouns she, they, and I will be playing Ygin, the lovely single dad Leonin rogue that's unsure if he wants to be here. His pronouns are he, him.
I'm Artemis, pronouns they, them. I'm playing Zealous, the tiefling sorcerer, he's gonna try his best. He's giving it a shot, and his pronouns are he, him.
And I'm me, they, them, everyone else in the world, you know the deal. Last time, Zealous went home, and it was
Emotional.
emotional and awkward.
Really
and
awkward.
messy. But now, with everyone having said goodbye to their families, they are ready to step in to the next chapter. So, you all arrive back in a place you have been before, the wide open with the runic stone there and some bookshelves, and Kaxus is waiting. He jumps up and he's like, oh, you're back.
You sound surprised by that fact.
Did you not expect us to come
There
back?
was a chance you'd just decide not to come back.
Well, we did take your warning of our families being in danger to heart.
Well, yes, but I wouldn't have blamed you given...
I mean, wouldn't you have just gone and grabbed us again?
I don't know.
Oh, okay.
I mean, I would have been there for you when you were in danger again, but forcing you doesn't seem right, even if that's what I should do.
Yeah, my mom already thinks you kidnapped me.
Oh! All right, then.
She needs to be angry at someone.
Yeah.
Okay.
If you ever meet her, though, I'm sorry.
So, is everything settled then?
As settled as it can be, yes.
Sure.
I've got questions.
Well, from on our home fronts, things are as settled as they can be.
Of course. Does anyone want to try the stone again?
I mean, last time it didn't do anything for me.
No. It's the only way we're going to even get hints about who your ancestors were.
I can't give it another shot. I don't know why anything's different now from when I did this an hour ago.
It's hardly been an hour.
A couple hours ago, you know.
This morning.
This morning, yeah.
Earlier.
I haven't slept since, you know.
It's been a very busy 2
Day.
or 3 days, yes.
Yeah.
Perhaps that should be the next step after we try on the stone. You get some actual rest.
Oh.
Just kind of like, after you. Like,
Yeah.
Yeah, Zealous will be like, sigh and walk over. He's not expecting anything to happen. I do have 3 white jewels, so to turn in. I think Zealous knows that these things exist.
You step on, and this time it's very different. A purple rune, one of the jewels on there, glows and goes around you, and you suddenly feel this energy of being a very sly person. Not like sneaky manipulative, but like...
Mm-hmm.
Like suave, sly.
Suave sly, but also like could be manipulative if that needed to be how it turned, but not like inherently the bad sort of manipulative. Like very cunning, very sly, very sneaky. You feel, and Artemis, Zealous, gains advantage on saves against being frightened.
Yeah, when it starts lighting up, Zealous definitely kind of flinches in surprise because he honestly was not expecting anything to happen. And then he's just gonna watch the light and feel those feelings, just kind of like, this is weird. But when it's done, he'll step off and be like, does that tell us anything?
I think, one second, The thing is, there's only so much information. It's been so long about the original ancestors. I do believe that was and he takes out a tome and he kind of flips and he goes, yes, the purple gem, that is Austin Truespark.
Truespark. Can you spell his first name again?
Austern.
I recognize that as a name you mentioned previously, but I don't know anything about this person.
We'd have to do some more research. Again, I knew more about Droxen because she was the leader, but Austin seems to have the least on him.
Oh, good.
You're just a mystery all the way around, apparently, Zealous. Don't you feel special?
No.
Do you want to try again, Vokane, since yours went odd last time?
It doesn't hurt to try. And he'll walk over and stand on it.
Do you have 3 blue
I
stones?
do.
Or white stones,
White stones.
You step up, the runes start to glow, and then a yellow jewel, which before I even knew yellow was your Vokane's favorite color, so I find that very nice.
Right, yeah.
The yellow jewel starts to glow, and you feel this feeling of being very optimistic, being the sort that can see the good in everyone and wanting, you feel this like genuine need. No one's beyond saving in your heart of hearts, and just this idea of being a protector courses through you, and Vokane now has a 20-foot climb speed.
That's cool.
Yeah, I just don't know where to put that.
You should put that next to your other
Speed,
speed and just note
yeah.
down that it's a climb.
So we got a 30 speed.
We got swimming, we got climbing,
And heat resistance.
heat resistance. Maybe you'll get flying at some point with
Maybe.
Dragonborn. I don't
Maybe.
That'd
know.
be terrifying. A giant lion man descending
flying through the
from the
fucking
sky.
That would be amazing.
The Iglings will think twice next time.
That's Lucky. The name Lucky.
Yeah.
I just thought so.
Yes.
That's. Do we know anything about Lucky?
Give me a moment.
That would mean that I'm part cat.
Feels like it should be, that one points to Ygin. That one's
Just kinda
ancestor.
shrugs.
Nothing overly. It says here that obviously by the name we can conclude that they were Tabaxi. Again, I'd have to look a bit more, but in this notebook it just says that they were a protector of the group.
Okay, so group leader, protector of the group, and we don't know the hell anything.
Quite a
really.
mystery, Austin, yes.
Yeah. Are there supposed to be more of us? Like, this group was originally 5, I think it was. 6?
Yes, I don't. You're who activated. If somebody else activates later, but right now all we have is you.
Yeah, okay, alright.
Who knows? Hopefully, perhaps that will change down the road.
Yeah, we can definitely only hope, considering what we're supposedly going to be facing.
While you were gone, I made some food. I figured you'd be hungry.
I could eat, yeah.
That would be nice, yes.
Everybody
with
looks
us,
over at
Rokane?
Rokane.
Yeah, sorry, I was reading. But yeah, he nods his head along. Like, yeah, food.
Okay. It's just a simple stew. It's nothing fancy. I wanted to be sure it would be ready by the time you were.
Stew is good.
It is. Don't think we need anything fancy per se at the moment.
He leaves the room.
If you wanted
Comes
anything
back.
fancy, you should have grabbed it from my wake.
Comes back, puts a thing of lamb stew in front of each of you. Smells good. It's not like 5-star or anything, but like it's good hearty
Good
stew.
home cooking.
Yeah, good home cooking.
Not a lot to do when you live alone for 20, 30 years.
Yeah. So I've been doing what I can, tapping into my guardian powers. Part of it is when I have an active members is I can try and... You're not the only things I can get a sense of. You're the things I can get the most sense of, but I can get vague senses of ichoric movement and influence. It would be vague, so I can only really send you in the direction, and then you'd have to go from there. But that's another... And now that I've spent more time with you and you've been activated longer, I can feel that happening.
Zealous is going to pause in eating the soup and be like, "Oh yeah, how'd you know our names?"
So, it's another sense, sort of like how I could sense what you could all be capable of, how I knew armor wouldn't suit you.
He's got that expression on his face like, I still do not believe
I'll
that.
admit to some of you, I was summoned when you were activated. That's when I came, and I acted when you were in danger, but for some of you, I did overhear moments beforehand. Not being there, but when I first sensed you, here, when I was sitting here, I almost heard what you were hearing. I heard your friend call you zealous and tell you that you needed to not stay in the storm. It was my first sense of you. Not on purpose.
So stalker and kidnapper.
Not on purpose. It was just how I activated. I was seeing through your eyes. And I think that's the only time it will happen. Is when you activate. It was sort of to give me a feeling of where you were.
I'd really like privacy at times.
I don't think I can possibly do it again.
Dallas just has this expression on his face like, I don't know if I believe you, but okay.
You can make an insight check.
It's less that he needs to insight that and more just so, like...
Just press an X to doubt at
the
moment.
and more like, well, Kaxus doesn't really seem to know all abilities and everything. Maybe he'll do it accidentally.
I know in theory certain abilities I have, but again, I activated when you activated. I've always had the ability to sense, but I wasn't expecting that no one prepared me for when you first activated to see through your eyes, but I could even try doing it now, and I don't think I can.
I mean, I'd kind of like to know if you could.
He sort of sits, and I can feel you as a presence, but I can't. Like, if you were to go in another room, I'd know what room you were in, but I can't access like I did before. That wasn't a willing thing. That was, I think that's an activation.
Oh, well, that makes me feel a little better that you're not going to be constantly eavesdropping.
Yes.
Does he sense our emotions as well?
Are you asking that in character?
No, because I've got some emotions going on over here with Rowr.
What's your emotions?
Well, first there was fear, and now there's rising anger and more fear. But the anger is possibly directed towards Kaxus. So if he can sense that with his little feeling thing that he can do, that might cause some issues.
If it does, he's not showing any reaction to that.
Okay.
So with your being able to sense ichor activity, what does that mean? Are we just going to go out and fight random ichor swarms, or
what?
How is this supposed to work?
That sounds like putting a Band-Aid on the actual problem.
It does.
It does. At first, so like I told you before, I believe that there are already some people being influenced by the ichor that have not fully submitted. The goal would be to find those people and either uninfect them or if they're even perhaps doing the work willingly, get rid of them.
Ygin makes a
I'm guessing that
displeased
means
face at that.
kill them.
I mean, if they're actively working to end the world.
Zealous' expression is like, I don't know if I like that part of this.
Kaxus does not look thrilled about it, but, like, he's been raised like, this is what
needs to be done.
Yeah. I mean, if you can think of another solution, if you can't uninfect them or get them to turn their deeds around, but...
What about just locking them up?
If you can manage that.
I mean, I don't have a prison at my disposal.
Make an insight check.
Can I also make an insight check?
Okay.
Is that a nat 1?
Please be a nat 20.
It's a nat 1 for a -1 for 0.
Ygin got a 17.
Okay. He was hearing that. He had an idea just now, but he doesn't want to interrupt you guys.
Zealous
You
is so
also see-
dense. Does not get
You see that he doesn't want to interrupt you guys, and it's in this moment you see deeper than that. Kaxus has been raised in this, like, you know, knowing about this. He sees himself not just like as your guide, which he is, but like he is beholden to you. So, like, your words are more important than his. Your ideas are more important than his. He's not going to speak up because that is what he has been.
Ygin doesn't like that.
You guys are the descendants. He's just your guide. His ideas are important.
Alfred is just as important as the Bat Fam, okay?
I was about to say, isn't he a descendant too of the Echo person?
He wasn't very clear on that.
That's how Zealous took it.
Yeah.
You're free to ask for clarification.
Well, at the
See-
moment he's not thinking that. He got a 0 on his inside.
Yeah.
He doesn't get any of this.
Seeing that kind of look flash in Kaxus's eyes before he just continues to defer to the rest of them, Ygin kind of tilts his head. It's like, what's on your mind, Kaxus?
There is, in this building, a place that could work as a sort of holding cell if I modified it a bit.
Would that be safe to bring?
I don't think so, and I don't even know if I could bring them here.
Not to be rude, then why did you bring it up?
Because he asked.
I did not ask if you had a prison.
No, he asked. What was in my mind? It would... We don't have a place to keep them. I'd rather not kill them, but... I can already feel numerous activities. Some are just creatures, some are more powerful, some... It has spread far further than I thought.
That's not good.
No. But if we don't want to just outright kill these people that have been infected, it's something we need to consider.
Yes.
If we could bring them here, if this is our only safe place from the Icor, it's probably not best to bring a potential infestation onto this property.
No.
But if we could find a place to corral them, to hold them.
I don't have access to a prison.
I don't either, but that's not to say we can't build something or find something.
I mean, if we free them from it, or from the infection,
Well,
But
yes,
some of
if
them
we
may
can-
be serving willingly, is the thing.
and could go get reinfected, I guess.
We're not going to find a solution today or tomorrow.
I do want you to get rest, but I do...
How do you find these people?
That's the thing. I sense the general direction. I have a map. And if I focus, I can get a general location. Like, right now, the first place I'll probably send you to investigate, it doesn't feel overly powerful, and at the moment, not in any offensive way. There is a powerful force on Mus. I don't think you're ready for it.
I would probably agree with that.
There is a less powerful force on Lath that I do think.
When you say powerful,
It's like a this is going to be contradictory, but it's like a shining beacon of darkness.
all right.
That I can sense, and how bright it shines. Yeah, darkness shining, I know, but how bright it shines kind of indicates how powerful or how much of an influence the Icor has there.
Is it everywhere on Mus, or like in a certain spot?
I haven't been able to narrow it down.
Which one is Mus again?
Mus is another continent.
Okay, that was my next question.
Mus is the one that
with us.
yeah. Mus is the one that you do the most trading with.
Right, that's right.
But after some rest, I will probably send you to Lath to investigate. It could just be a collection of creatures. You have to deal with them. It could be someone commanding the creatures. I wish I could give you more. But at the moment,
Do you
are...
think we're capable of handling the ones on Lath?
I think so.
What even are we supposed to investigate exactly? Yes, if they're just infected creatures, dispatch them, I suppose, like we did with the ones.
Like I said, often in Icoric infected people, there's... Yes, there are people who are always a bit rotten, but there are people who maybe weren't. It's giving into your baser, most selfish instincts. So, say there was someone who was once a very selfless, altruistic person, but now their motive seems to be different. Look for personality changes. Look for...
But what do we do once we find that? We don't know how to uninfect these people, to my knowledge.
I have been... One moment. He runs out of the room, leaving you all for a moment together.
How are we supposed to know about their personality changes if we didn't know them before?
You ask people who do know them.
Oh. I guess that makes sense.
I suppose that's part of what the investigating is. If we find someone, or ask if anything's been strange lately. I'm not entirely sure. We're basically making up as we go along at this moment.
Mm-hmm. Dallas is definitely sitting there just trying to process everything. Just like, all right, sorting this information, putting it, okay. He's not trying to make any judgments or anything. He's just trying to absorb info.
No, yeah. It's just like, this is a lot of information. A lot of is being asked of us when we don't even know what the fuck we're capable of doing. Yeah, that's fair.
And a lot of, this is more complicated than my playtime stories of let's be adventurers. Woohoo, let me go smack that tree with a stick.
Yeah. Of, the giant beast, and it's been slayed, and we're heroes, yay!
Yeah.
Rokane has probably been quite quiet during this entire
Exchange.
conversation. Yeah. He has not partaken in any.
Is he just sitting over there processing, or is he off in a world of his own?
Well, as I said in my notes, he apparently has some lingering regrets and anger from when he ran away from his old mentor.
Yeah, I bet.
But now the question comes up of if he was listening into conversations, how much did he hear, and did he choose not or to wait until the final moment to save Rokane? Could he have saved his mentor? So
Jesus.
there is some rising anger towards
Kaxus.
That would be a question to ask. 'Cause
Yeah,
he only
if we're-
said specifically what he saw.
Yes,
glimpse
but
of
he
him.
doesn't know if he wants to hear that answer. If it leans to what?
If it's, because either way it's a bad answer of no, there's nothing I could have done, so you still feel like the coward for running away and not doing more, or yes, you could have helped and I'm still the coward, but now you're the asshole too.
Yeah.
Either way, it's not good.
So yeah, you discuss for a while. Kaxus comes back in holding these really odd-looking devices and goes, so this will be an odd thing to explain. And I think that's where we'll take a break. We'll see you all in a bit. All right, welcome back. Before we dive into it, Mars, I want to give you this.
Oh, God damn it.
Please describe what you just received.
I received another black crystal. One of the bad ones.
One of the little bitch tokens.
At least you got something.
I mean, yeah, I'm good at being a
Yeah,
bad bitch.
the little bitches and bad bitch tokens, and you got the little bitch
Yeah,
token.
there we go.
But yeah, you
So Kaxus comes in with weird devices.
he's like, so if like I said, I was researching while you were gone, and I found these. I'd seen them a bit before. Obviously, I've been here a while. Anyway,
What are they?
I believe that your ancestors used them to enhance their powers a bit, to help fuse Icor away. I believe one of them, or perhaps even my ancestor, created them for them. And he kind of goes, and they look very simple. They're just like these, like, wrist cuffs that have jewels in them, and then it kind of goes up a little bit into your palm where another jewel is. And he kind of puts it on, shows you, and he's like, I think that if you go to an Icoric person and you get them weak enough, you would have to fight them.
Mm-hmm.
But you get them weak enough, and then you press this one to their head. It will help extract the Icor from them, and you can do that a number of times. He gestures to the 4 jewels around the arm, not the one. He's like, each will fill up. I don't. I'll have to do some more studying. I don't know what to do when it's full. When you've.
How many of these are there?
I have so far at this moment found 6.
Seems reasonable, the 5 team members and your ancestor.
Yes.
Each had one.
Theoretically.
Well, does that mean we can put on 2?
Theoretically.
I don't see why not.
As long as it doesn't make us explode or something.
Yes. So, mechanically.
Yes, anyway! Let's hope for the best that you don't explode.
So, mechanically,
Sorry, I
what
broke
these
my
do
mic.
is they basically have 4 charges, where once you get a enemy, not a completely overtaken Icoric enemy, so like the wolves you were facing, or the Eiklings, these wouldn't work on them. They're too far gone. They're too far corrupted. But say, like, just a person who's under the influence, getting powers from the Icor in some way. What this would do is, once you've gotten them to a certain HP, which is different for each of them, obviously, depending on their strength, I would give you an indicator they're looking quite weak or something to make you think that you could pull it off at that point. Or you could just non-lethally take them out and then do it. You would then place that upon their hut, and it would absorb into one of the gems. And if all 4 gems are full, it is no longer useful. As of now, you in character, as well as Kaxus, do not know how to expel it safely, because obviously that would just be putting the Icor back into the world. You could expel it if, like, you're like, this one's more important to me to expel, and, like, so I'm gonna put this Icor back in the world so I can expel this person and save this person. But know that would mean putting that Icor back in the world.
Mm-hmm.
Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does.
But he gives 2 to each of you.
Zealous will kind of look them over and then put one on each hand.
Yeah. Ygin looks it over in a more, like, professional standpoint because he builds shit like this. So he does kind of
It's
give it
well
an
built.
appraising look.
You know what? Go ahead and give me a perception check with advantage.
Ooh, fancy. That's a 15.
I lowered the DC for you because you know what good made shit is.
Yay.
This was made by someone who knew what they were doing.
Nice.
Good.
That's good.
Yeah.
Good to know we have properly made shit. It's probably definitely dated, but...
Oh, it's dated. But, like, it's a simple but good design.
Mm-hmm.
Like, you feel like there's... The more complicated side of this is whatever magic went into it.
Yeah, and that's not his milieu
But the
at
device itself is like, it's good, it's simple, it works for, like, you know, it fits comfortably without, like, being imposing, because you would think a jewel on you, but it just sort of, like, nicely rests against your palm, and it doesn't even feel like a inconvenient. Like, it was made with, like...
That was Rokane's happenstance of put it on, pull weapon out, does it feel like he can wield the weapon properly?
Like, it was made with functionality in mind.
Mm-hmm. So yeah, Ygin kind of like looks him over and makes like a noise of approval before he slides one on. It's like, these were impressively made for the time.
He probably still slides one on his left hand to be more used. That way he can still, sword instead of having to put sword down to grab face or chest.
To grab face.
Yeah, because I remember here you had to put it on their head.
Yeah,
but then
the first time you said head.
Yeah, I did the mix up. I said hut while I put it on my head.
Yeah, they actually don't get in the way as much as I thought they were going to, and he's just kind of moving his hands around and flexing his fingers, just trying to feel how it rotates with his hand and everything. He doesn't... I mean, he'd probably take out his knife just to hold that, but put that back, too.
It's like, yes. Whoever made these was aware of how they would need to function with fighters, not just for aesthetic.
And you say we just touch somebody, we don't have to
say
recite
anything,
something?
do anything.
Not with any of the notes I found about this, no.
So
I believe it works on intent.
Okay. I was about to say that'd be really bad if those were the notes that were lost.
Yeah. Yes, there are many rooms in here with many books. Believe it or not, I have organized and read quite a bit. It's in my years. It's just...
Well, actually, would Echo? No?
Perhaps. Echo is... odd. Echo is a conglomeration of memories. Echo is not a being. We could certainly try, but sometimes Echo doesn't have an coherent answer with a millennia of memories being infused into it. Sometimes it can get a little messy. I believe whoever created what Echo is, with whatever complicated weave of magic, maybe didn't expect it to go on this long, so some of it gets jumbled when you have years and years of memories of Guardians just put into this amalgamation of pure raw energy and memory. Things are bound to get lost. Sometimes Echo will not know something one day and will know something the next. I'll admit I've also, mostly what I've taught Echo is how to be a little more personable with the information. It hasn't worked completely, but I can certainly try and summon Echo.
Does it hurt to ask? It sounds like might as well try.
Echo just kind of appears. Again, just this outline of a being, not really, which you now know isn't even a ghost like you probably assumed beforehand, but just this weird magic voodoo of pure magic and energy and memory.
I have been summoned.
This is just over there like, yeah, no shit.
You have a query.
Oh, am I supposed to ask Echo?
If you'd like, you're the one with the question.
I don't know. You're the one who's dealt with Echo. These things, Echo, do we have to say something to use them on an Icoric infected person or thing?
Zealous, you feel a very strange thing come up next. The outline of Echo kind of moves forward and envelops your hand as if to, like, because it doesn't have eyes. So it, like, almost feels what's on it. And it's, like, the pinprick of when you're numb limb is coming back to life.
Mm-hmm.
That is what your entire arm is feeling, as Echo sort of...
Yeah, Zealot is holding his arm out and leaning away just a little bit, like, that feels weird.
No words are needed. As long as you have your intent.
And moves back.
Okay, thank you. That felt weird.
Yes, Echo feels very weird.
Starts flexing his hand and kind of like shaking it a little bit.
Good to know.
Yeah.
I will depart now.
Thank you, Echo.
Bye.
Bye.
Just leaves.
I just imagine like dissipating.
Yep.
If you made them more personable, what were they like before?
They didn't even bother saying goodbye.
Oh.
All right then.
Or even asking if you had a query. They just come and be like, yes, and then you'd ask them something. They do it, give you the answer, and disappear.
Sounds efficient.
Sounds cold.
May be efficient, but when that's your only other source of companionship, I can see why that wouldn't exactly be what you want to deal with.
Kaxus looks almost guilty in that moment. Like he somehow tainted Echo.
I'm just amazed you haven't gone insane being here if you had nobody else around.
Well, like I said, I have a vendor that comes.
Not very often. Didn't you say it was like once a month?
Yes.
That's
And
not...
it was a few years until he stumbled upon, but...
Zealous has a very concerned expression on his face.
So does Ygin, frankly. It's just like, that's a lot, bud.
I'm still surprised you haven't gone insane. That sounds horrible.
Rukane probably just softens his look after that of just like I'm mad at this person. Oh, they went through a lot. I can't be mad at them, but I'm still mad at them.
But I would assume you'd all like to rest.
At least get settled in.
Yes.
Do we have to go right after we rest? Because, like, I have magic, but I haven't... Like, can I practice with it?
Yes,
we
there's
go?
a training room.
Okay, well, that's good.
I'd like to take a crack at some of the books here.
And it's not a immediate need, but do you have a forge of some kind here?
I have an area that perhaps could suit one.
All right. If nothing else moving forward, I'd like to make some kind of housing for our key gems, so they're not just loose in our belongings. Something we could wear.
Oh, okay, yeah, no, that makes sense.
I don't have my good tools with me, but I have tools.
I guess we could pick up tools when we're out.
It's a bit of an forge that hasn't been operational in who knows.
Then I'd like to at least look it over, see what it needs to be done to get it in functionality. But yes, that can wait until the morning.
If you don't think we need to go to Lathe right away.
I think it's important, but I understand that the other things are important.
Sooner over later, but an extra 24, 48 hours shouldn't
Yes.
be the end of the world.
I hope not. I mean, I will go stab those things again, I guess, but if I have some way to not get bitten, that'd be great.
No, yes, that's fair.
Looks at Kaxus, because apparently armor doesn't help me. Still fucking bitter about that.
Hey, I didn't make the sorcerer class, man. I didn't.
I know, it's just hilarious.
It's like, you don't need armor, kid. Just go get him.
Kaxus is just, story-wise, it's Kaxus specifically refusing to give Zealot's armor. Zealot's just like, why?
You're not a fish.
I get mechanic-wise, but yes, story-wise, it's just hilarious. Kaxus is actively refusing to give Zealot
I'm sending you into
armor.
nature. Here's armor. Here's armor. Good luck, kid.
Technically, you could wear the armor, and I do believe you do get the AC bonus, but you have like disadvantage on everything.
Yeah.
So yeah, you're each led to a room. You're not like put into the rooms next to each other. He like spaces you out a bit so that you can have that more sense of like privacy. But you each now officially have your own room in your home base.
Woo.
Cool. Rokane has probably grabbed quite a stack of books from wherever and has brought it into his room.
Do you have descriptions of rooms, or is that
I can absolutely, if you'd like. They're pretty bare bones because no one's lived in them for a while. You know what? I'm gonna roll for each room that you end up going in.
Oh, okay.
All right, so Zealous, the room you get in, just know, I'm not gonna say it every time, very dusty rooms. Only Kaxus' room is not dusty because
he's been actively living there and cleaning it.
Yeah. So it's very dusty. But it has a very large bed in it.
That's cool.
It's normal.
Okay, rich kid.
Yeah, I was about to say, Zealous
like a nice like
bed.
4-poster, kind of has a canopy over it.
Standard.
You've been sleeping on a cot in that hut a lot lately.
Kaxus absolutely gave you new sheets because
thank you.
Yeah. It has an armoire.
Okay.
But it's a pretty simple. Kaxus probably didn't clean it up, but it's been cleaned up. There was probably personal items in here at one point, but now that all remains is the furniture.
Is there a window?
There is not.
Oh, great.
You've noticed there's not a lot of windows here. Like, none of you have gotten a peek of the outside.
That's concerning.
That's very concerning.
See, I thought we were like underground in like a dungeon-esque area.
That could be
That's
it.
still concerning.
Yeah, no, Zealous does not like not having windows or something. He's like...
It's a nice room.
Yeah, but
No
now he's feeling
windows.
claustrophobic about it.
That's fair. Ygin, your room is a little more simple. It's a nice, like, plush bed. But, like, with your size, it really just has enough room for you. It doesn't have a canopy or anything. It's just
It's fine. He doesn't need anything fancy like that.
just a normal. It has a dresser in there.
Not that Zealous does.
Yeah,
but
Zealous
it's like
like,
he's okay not having it. He's not downgrading or anything.
It
Yeah, I
has a
was just
dresser.
wondering, like-
It has 2 bookshelves.
Oh, I don't get bookshelves.
No. And they do have books on them.
I'll be stealing those too.
Other people are allowed to read, Rokane.
And go ahead and give me an investigation check, because I'm assuming you're looking around a bit.
Yeah, like, especially as he's, like, dusting things. He's cleaning up, kind of putting his stuff away.
That's an 11. That's enough. You are kind of walking around. I feel like it's not a super active investigation.
No, like, it's passing at best, because, again, he's just kind of, like, cleaning up, wiping things down, like, putting his clothes in the dresser, kind of giving a glance over the books kind of thing.
As you, like, you just so happen to open one of the books, and inside there is a locket.
Oh.
Now you have 2 lockets.
Now I have 2 lockets.
Open the lock.
He's going to. I'm just writing. Yes, out of curiosity, he does open the locket. See if there's any portrait or anything inside.
There is no portrait, but there is a ring.
How big's this fucking locket?
Well, no, it's a small ring. Like, like a little ring. And it was... I've seen lockets you can put rings in.
I've seen some pretty big lockets.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's a decent sized locket, big enough for a ring.
Is there anything about the ring? Are there any inscriptions? Or...
There is an inscription. It says, "My darling," and then it just says N.
He just kind of, like, makes an intrigued noise and kind of puts the ring back inside of it. Doesn't put the locket back in the book, but kind of like sets it on his dresser with the intent to bring it to Kaxus later and see if he has any insight into who it was. And again,
It's
always
just like a simple silver ring, too.
Yeah. Just and with always just that professional, like, appraising eye looking it over. Because you can't help but see how things are built when you build them.
Old, but quality silver, probably handmade.
Mm-hmm.
And not, like, by a professional, but by, like, someone who, like, didn't, like, wasn't horrible, but this isn't, like, a jeweler made this.
Mm-hmm. Noted.
Okay.
Yes.
You go into your room.
Mm-hmm.
There is a very, very large, like, lion witch in the wardrobe looking fucking...
Wardrobe?
Yeah, wardrobe. It's very big.
Oh. Okay.
Yeah. And in the corner, not small, but to Vokane, probably the smallest bed he has ever...
Beggars can't be choosers.
I was really hoping he would get the most just like fucking
Basic
pedestrian,
bed.
basic ass bed. With all
Yeah,
his,
it's like
that's
a
normal.
basic full-sized mattress.
He's not gonna throw a fit over a bed.
No,
Like, he understands, like, you know, he's gonna have to take what he gets.
But that's really all that's in here, just that giant-ass wardrobe and a bed.
Crawl through to Narnia, bud.
Goodbye! I'm going on my own damn adventure. Hello, dragons.
Do I have a desk in mind? All you told me was a bed and an armoire.
Yeah, you have a desk.
Thank you.
I'll trade you the wardrobe for the for the bookcases.
I don't need a wardrobe. I will give you one.
You can go to
bookcase.
Narnia in this thing.
They already have a lion. They don't need him. He doesn't want to be metaphorical Jesus. God damn it.
Anyways, no, that's
Zealous
that one. He will.
Pointing at me when they said that.
I did say zealous. And
I didn't hear zealous.
Oh, fuck.
Oh, Lordy.
I will go ahead and open the wardrobe.
There's some carvings in it, but it's empty.
Carvings? What are the carvings?
Some are like little doodles.
Strange.
Yeah, little doodles. Some seem to be tallying something. And
So he was locked in this wardrobe.
Yeah.
Oh my god!
This was the punishment wardrobe.
Oh my god.
and then some, like I said, mostly doodles, mostly that, and then there's just one word that's written of destiny.
Of course.
But it would have plenty of room for all your shit.
I mean, yeah.
If
a
he
ni-
brought any.
Yeah, it's a nice wardrobe. Like, it's one of those wardrobes that, like, not only, like, you know how some wardrobes, I don't know if any of you other have seen this, but they, like, have space for, like, drawers and stuff, too.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
It's one of the, like, it's nice. It is spacious.
I mean, he doesn't have anything to put in there right now. I mean, like, yeah, whenever he gets ready for bed, he'll put the stuff in there, but...
Because I was curious, I looked up the difference between an armoire and a wardrobe. Usually an armoire is a bigger piece of furniture, and it is more ornate than a wardrobe.
Yep, you have the more ornate room.
So you have a very ornate wardrobe. So that must mean yours is over the fucking top.
No kidding.
And I've just got a casual, like, 6-drawer dresser.
And in terms of function, an armoire is often used for multiple purposes and to store a multitude of items, while wardrobes are strictly for clothes and linens. Okay.
Cool.
Out of curiosity, what was the book that the locket was in?
I actually have that note. I'm not
I'm
even
sure
kidding. Give
you
me a
did.
minute.
That's why I asked.
Okay, he can't help. As long as he doesn't see your guys' rooms, he won't be disappointed in his room.
I don't know if we were intentionally hiding rooms from...
No. You just come in and find out we don't all have twin double long mattresses, and you're like, what the fuck?
I'm gonna go check the empty rooms and see what else there is.
Zealous will switch rooms with you.
No, he's gonna.
It's an old romance book
Interesting.
called The Thief of My Hut.
Of course.
Ugh. It's got one of those like standard like drawings of a dude on it or something on the front of the page.
It has a depiction of like a burglar and a noblewoman like looking out the window at the burglar, and
We can tell who Kaxus' favorite is, though. The guy who gets books and stuff in his room and much more interesting. Here you guys go. You just get a bed and some place to put your non-existent
I
clothes.
feel like he didn't overly assign you. It's more like he opened and he's like, "Does this work for you?" Like he was trying to space you out over anything else.
Rogaine's just gonna hunt the base and just start stealing stuff. Stealing. He's going to like move things into his room to make it fit more of his style.
Zealous just wants a fucking window.
But yes, you all go to sleep eventually for the night.
I feel like Ygin has nightmares of that fucking dire wolf.
I don't think Zealous sleeps very well.
I say I don't have to sleep. I just have to meditate for 4 hours. I assume. I
Yes.
think? Yeah.
That's why you didn't need a really big bed.
Yeah.
Yeah, you just
So
kind of sit
sits
cross-legged on it and trance for 4 hours.
Yeah. But he definitely spent the other 4 and whatever many hours like reading books and whatnot.
You go to bed, and the next day you will have who knows what awaiting you. And that is where we'll end our episode. All right, everyone, we hope you had just as good of a time listening as we had making this. Any shout-outs? No? Join our Patreon, follow us on social media, do all that fun stuff. Thank you so much. And remember, everyone, play to your you. Bye.
Thank you for listening to this episode of Roll for Focus from Campaign 1 Ouroboros. This episode was edited by Cody, transcriptions are by Artemis, character art is by Miajik, also known as Fiesta TB. She can be found at linktree/Miajik, that's MEDEKH. You can visit us at rollforfocus.com and follow us on Instagram, Facebook, Twitter, Tumblr, and TikTok at Roll for Focus. If you want to do more to support us, for as little as $1 a month, you can join our Patreon, Roll for Focus Podcast. Get exclusive looks at character sheets, ad-free episodes, early access to episodes, monthly extra content, give fan submissions for names or items, shoutouts at the end of the episodes, and more.
Hey everyone, Emery here. We're so thankful to everyone that supports us by even just listening, rating, and sharing our podcast. We wouldn't be able to do this without our audience support. And we're especially grateful to those who go above and beyond and subscribe to our Patreon. Like those that have found enlightenment and know it's best to play to your you. Like Luchik and MN House of Cats. Thank you guys so much.
He doesn't do that, but
Does he do that?
no, God, no.
That would be an interesting insight into Rogaine as a person if he just suddenly did that. It's like, oh, he's finally snapped!